Welcome guys, the title said all, so let's start. I want to start the Laravel server now, PHP artisan serve. So I'm just starting it on port 801. Okay, so Laravel server has been started. You can see it here. Then let me go to the React Native. So I need to start the bundler. I need to npm start. I'm using React Native. I'm using Expo. So if you are using the normal React Native, still the same way. So the program, the app we have here now is we can log in, we can log out. If you haven't watched the first video, you need to watch the first video where we create this. We create the login functions. Okay, you can log in, you can log out, and it also shows error message. Okay, so now let's go to the backend side, that is on Laravel. Okay, so this is the login controller. The last lesson, let's correct this side. I want to make this email. That is the validation rule for the login. That is the in our last video. So we need to create a new controller, and we are going to put the controller in this auth folder, API auth folder. So let's make the controller now. I'll start a new terminal. PHP artisan make controller. I'll put it in API folder and the auth folder. I will call it API user register controller. That is the name I give to the controller. And let us go inside. Here it is, empty controller. So I'll create a function. I will call it register. Then the first thing we need to do, let us add this method, this function, to our route, so that when we navigate to the register route, we are going to call this API user registration. So you can see that it has already automatically import. So if you don't have the plugin, you can import it by yourself manually. So I'm going to call the register functions. Okay, so that is for the route. Let's go back to our register controller. The first thing we need to do, we need to validate the request. You need to validate the request that is coming, and we need to check if user exists, because we are going to register a new user. Then we need to create the user. So after we create the user, then we'll send the token. We create the code token and rest. So let's create our validation rules. Our validation rule is we need a name, which is required. You can see it here, name, email, and password. That is what we need. So if you have something like username, you can request it here. Name required, string. Email required, email. That is our validation rule. Then no, I don't need the unique, just leave it like that. Then password is required, string. So this is our validation rule. Let's create the validation. I'll be using validator from the first side. support facade. You can see if you go up now, you can see it has been imported from the support facade validator. So I need to pass in the data that they are sending. So let's get it from the user request, put it in the request variable. So I will request all. The request. Then I will now put my validation rules. So this is my validation rule. Now I need to check if there is any validation fails. If validation fails, I will return a response, a JSON response, just like the way we do it in our first video, our login. So this video is going to be 3 pages. This side, this registration, and the last side of creating a post. So okay, status will be false. Message, we are going to request the message from the validation errors. All, return all. Yeah, so this is the response if the validation fails. Now we need to check if the user already exists. Okay, so user exists. We use the user model. We are going to use the email to find the user. We are using okay, let's see. Email, request email. So we are checking if this email that is coming is already in the database. We are going to use find or first. Yeah, let me use first. Why I use first is there is first or fail. But if I use first, if the data is empty, it will return empty data. So if you use first or fail, it will fail. So I don't need that. I only use first. So let's check if user exists. That means if it return a data, I need to return a response that this email has been, status will be false. Message, I will now say this email has been already been used, so the user can log in. Please log in. So that will be the response if the user already exists. Okay, so if no error, error, and we come down here, create the user, create a new user. So user, let's use the user model, new user model, new user, username, request it from the request username, user email, take it from the request email, user password, I need to hash it, so I'm going to use the hash. You can, so if you go up now, you can see where the hash was imported from the support first side. So I'll be using that hash to hash the password. This is necessary. So I will now request the data from user password. So if you have more value, you can add it here. That's how we do it. Then we need to save this. Save it to database. We have created a new user. So what we need to do now, we need to create a token and return response. So we are going to return the token and as the response, we return the user and the token, just like the way we do it in our first video. So bearer token, I call the token bearer token. User, I'll create token for this user. Create token. The name I'm going to give the name for the token should be auth token. Then make it a plain test token. So this, I'm getting this from the Sanctum documentation. Okay, if you don't know Sanctum, you need to search Laravel Sanctum from in the documentation. You'll find this. So I'm going to return a response, JSON response. The status should be true. The status should be true. We need to return user. No, message. Let's return message first. Registration successful. Then user. We are going to get the user from the user that was created earlier. Then we are going to return the token from the token that we created. That we call it a bearer token. So this all we need to return back. All right. So this is normal. Everything has been set from the Laravel side. For the registration, the validation has been done. So let us test it in Postman before we go to React Native. I want to test it. Accept application.json. First, let me send empty array. You can see it's working. It's required. This is the validation working here. Let's register a new user. The user should be user2. Email should be user2mail@mail.com. We need to password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yeah, send request. Remember, we are just testing. We need to test it before we go to React Native. I'm using Postman. The password. Oh, I write triple password. I need to go back to the Laravel side. Look at this. I write triple password. So it should be password. Okay, that's why you need to test it. You need to test it before you move to Laravel, so that the work will be smooth. You can see we are registration successful. The user and the user details. Okay, then we have the token successful. That is it. That's what we need. And if you try to register with the same email, it will tell you that the email has already been used. Okay, so now we are in React Native now. Okay, so we have these two screens here, login screen and profile screen. We created this screen in our last video. You can watch that. So then let's duplicate this login screen. I'll call it sign up screen. Yeah, let me copy this name. I want to use the name in. So here is our sign up screen. Let me change the component name, sign up screen. We just have simple things here. We have the style, the title. Let's change the title to registration, and we have only two input here, the input for email and the input for password, and the button here. So if you click this button, it will call this handle login. Let us change it to handle sign up. Then we'll create, let's delete this handle login. Then we'll create a new method function and call it handle sign up. Okay, this is it here. So now let's go to, we need to add this screen to our navigation. I'll go to navigation. I'll copy this login, navigation. Then I'll give it a name. I'll call it sign up. Then I will import the component. I will call the component here, which is sign up screen. You can see it has been imported automatically. We are having this error because we need a root component. So we are going to use fragment. This is fragment, the short form for fragment. So we now have a single route for it. Okay, so let's go back to login screen and registration screen. What did I call it? Sign up screen. Okay, so I want to add a button in this login screen, a button that will take us to registration screen. That is the sign up screen. I'll call it sign up now. So this button, if you click this button, it will take us to the sign up screen. So I'm going to use navigation. Navigate. I will now put the name of the screen, which I call sign up screen. Now if I click this, it will take me to the registration screen. Okay, so we only have two input here. We need to add one input. So let's go to sign up screen. Let's change this to sign up. The button at the button, I'll change the color so that we can easily recognize it difference from the login. You can see purple sign up. So here it is. Okay, now I would like to add a new input. That will be the input for name. I will be using test input. I'll give it style, input style. This style was created in our first video. Placeholder, we call it name, and value. We need to create the value. Let's create the value. We are going to use state name, set name. use state null. Okay, now we can now use the name here, value here. So on change text, this is the simple form of writing to set the name to the text. Okay, now I have 3 input: name, email, password. Okay, so we need to handle the sign up. So once I click the handle the sign up button, it will call this method. So I need to return a response if the inputs are null. That means user did not enter any input. So I will set the message. Now this message, I'll write all field is required, return. So if I click in it with empty, now you can see it here. So then if there is data in it, I'm going to send request to the server to register the user. So I will be using async yeah, so that I can use the await, because I want to post await post ASIO. So I need to copy the URL now, that is the link, and put it here. Okay, so await ASIO.post. So this, I want you to wait for this request to complete before it go on. I'll paste the link. So you can see that this link is carrying, instead of the localhost link, is carrying 10.0.22. This is the link for Android in Windows. So if so that we can connect to the local host. This might be your website link, or that is it. So we are going, the data that we are going to send to the server is name, email, and password. You can say we are using ASIO post. Okay, then we get a response from the server. We call it REST. This is the REST. I'll handle the response here. We need to cache for error. I'll just log the error for now. Okay, let's go back to handle response. What we need to do, we have status. We are going to use the status that we are returning from the response to condition this side. Okay, so if you go to our Laravel now, you can see that I normally put the status, which should be, if it fail, we put false, and if it go through, we put true. So if rest, that the response that is coming, dot data dot status. Now I can leave it like this. This is true. Well, let me put this through here for reading purpose. If rest data equals to true, I will set the auth data. Now this auth data, we created this auth data contest. This contest in our first video. So this contest is a state that we can use in all our view. That is what the contest is for. You can use this set auth data and the auth data in all our screen. So if I set the auth data here now to rest.data, that I will set all the response that is coming, I will set it to this auth data, which carries our token, because we are going to use the token to anytime I want to send response. So else, if the status is false, we just return the message, the response message. That is the message that we set in the Laravel backend. Okay, so this will be all for now. Okay, now you can see this is our navigation. It will handle if the odd data is available. So if I click empty, it will return all field is required. So I need to enter the details. I'm registering a new user. I'll click sign up now. Incorrect login details. Oh, I make mistake here. This route is register route. So you put the register route. It's not logged in. This is for registration. That is the route we set in our Laravel. Don't forget, this is it, the route, the register route. Okay. So we are back to React Native. So send now. So we have registered successfully and it has logged in us to the profile. It takes us to the profile because the auth data is now available. So we can now log out, log in with the new register details. Okay, so if you don't get this site very well, please try watch the first video. Okay, I don't skip it. So you can see the password is incorrect. Let me put the correct password and it's login. Yeah, so this is it for now. The last this is it. You can log in, sign up, register, log out. That is all. So if I try to sign up with the user details that already be in the database, it will tell us that the user email already exists. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Shabazz 001, subscribe to my channel, and please watch the last part. That is the last part of this video. The last part, that is when we use the token.